Hi, everyone. So this week I've been watching a new documentary series on Netflix called basically The Bad Boy Billionaire. It's about Rajas in India. So very, very wealthy people in India that have unfortunately made some bad choices or ultimately done things that were either fraudulent or wrong. So yesterday I was watching a specific episode on Subrata Roy, who originally started back in the 70s and created a company called Sahara. And his idea was that all of the very, very, very poor people in the tiny little villages of India, who don't really have the ability to invest or put money away into a savings account in like a real bank, he thought, well, I can be a resource for them and I can start collecting money and then investing and giving back dividends, so where they can invest with me and eventually they can save up enough money to maybe be able to marry their daughter off, which traditionally in India has costed a lot of money, or be able to pay for school for their child. And what happened was, over the course of many years, he ended up creating this empire, literally an empire of over 1 million agents. So people in India that were then scattered all throughout the country, as you know, which is pretty vast. But of course, the population is so much more vast. Ultimately, 1 in every 17 Indians had deposited money with him. And it became essentially like a pyramid scheme. So whereas he started out wanting to help out the little guy, the person who wouldn't have access to an actual official bank, who wouldn't have the ability to invest in some sort of big investment scheme, this was an opportunity, he thought, to help the little guy, the poor person, have some return on what they were making, to make some additional money through savings, through an investment savings vehicle, which he thought he was creating. It turned into this empire of a scheme, of a pyramid. And from an ethics perspective, I think about how sometimes we believe that we are doing something for the right reason, and we might actually start off trying to do something for the right reason with good intention. But it could potentially lead to, over time, in a slippery slope way, right? One decision here, another decision there, that ultimately becomes a scheme, or fraud enters the picture, or you start cutting corners, or you get greedy maybe, right? Greed is a big thing. And that leads to bad decisions, and it leads to wanting more and more and more, and then something has to fall and the ball drops. And of course, this person ended up getting in trouble in India, but this is not, of course, an isolated incident to any one person in any one country. I think this idea that we could start off wanting to do something good, and we might actually have the intent of doing something good, could lead to, if you're not careful and not really employing the process of ethical decision making, down the road, it could lead to problems. So, when I think about, okay, when you're doing ethics, do it for the right reason all the time, right? Always have others' good intentions at heart. Have the community's good intentions at heart. Think about how your actions will affect somebody else or an entire group or community. Because that's really where, if you're trying to really employ ethics and get it and move the needle within your corporations, within your organizations, or at home, it takes thinking about it all the time and making sure that every decision is being done for the right reasons. Not because 10 years ago you started off wanting to do it for the right reasons. It has to be the right reason today. It has to be for the good of everybody, and for your community, and for yourself today. Take care.